What's going on, everybody? I'm Jason with Tennessee Mountain Homestead, and today we're going to be back on the mud mower, finally after a few weeks off, and we're going to be hooking up the new brake caliper we put in last time with brake lines to the master cylinder. So give me a few minutes and we'll get right into it. So the MCP brake kit came with this 3/16 nylon brake line. Well, that's not going to do it for me. We're going to use 3/16 steel. So give me a minute, we're going to get into it. My plan is to come out of the brake caliper, which is right down in here. See, down in there. And I got this brake line bending tool right here. I've already put a kick in it right here and a 90. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come up out of it. If you can see it right here, it's going to 90 up here. It's out of harm's way. It's going to be underneath the body. I'm going to turn right past this cross member right here, and there's a hole in the frame right here, right there. I'm going to come out of that hole and run along the outside of the frame over to my master cylinder is going to be somewhere over here on the side of the frame. More in a minute. I got the first brake line bent in position. I did have to kind of finagle it and kind of twist it to get it in where I wanted it, because of it's got 1, 2, 3. It's got 3 90s on it already. And I've been using these brake line bending pliers I got at Harbor Freight. They actually work pretty good. It ain't no big deal. It's not too hard to bend. But I don't just bend it around in 190 degree on that. I take increments. Anyway, check this out. Look down in there. So that's my brake caliper. The line comes from here. Pick it up a little higher. Go up that way. So you can see where it's coming from out of the fitting. So it comes up through this void area by the transmission. And then, like I said, there was a hole existing right here in the frame. And I got this 90 coming out. So I've got some brake clips and stuff that I'll secure all this, but I still need to do one more line to match that one, because there is 2 that come from there that go to the master cylinder. I've got both my brake lines roughed in to approximately where I want them. I've been using these Harbor Freight brake line pliers, and they seem to work okay. It's not really that hard to bend this stuff. But anyway, Stefan, go ahead and look in there and you can see what I got. So I'm trying to get them to where they're kind of together, and I need to figure out what I'm going to clamp them and hold them in place with next. But anyways, they come out through this hole in the frame, and they're going to run down the outside of the frame, and then I'm going to figure out where my master cylinder is going to sit here on the side of the frame. That's where we're at, and we'll be back when we have more information. I used a combination of electric tape and heat shrink and also tie wraps to just basically run those 2 brake lines together. So they come up through here. I bent them down. They're tie wrapped to the transmission cross member. They go out the frame through this existing hole. They're not rubbing, but there's plenty of insulation if they did rub. And then they're coming out here to the side. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to put the C-pan back on this thing and try to get an idea of where and how the brake master cylinder is going to mount to the frame and also come up through the floor. We got the C-pan bolted back on temporarily just to kind of see how we were going to orientate these brake pieces. So in previous episodes, you know that I bought this brake and gas pedal set from Go Power Sports. Well, it's great because I don't need that thing. I was a little worried about it. I thought I was going to have to cut holes in the C-pan floorboard and all that stuff. Not the case, man. This is going to work out great. So I found the original brake pedal shaft that goes right here in the frame. And what I'm going to do is, I forget how it used to orientate, but obviously this was facing down because of this 90. That's how it has to be. So I'm going to straighten out that 90 with a little bit of heat. This is the master cylinder for my brake caliper. This is going to be able to mount up here on the frame, back, bolted directly to the frame. And then the original factory brake pedal, this arm is going to be the other way, or we're going to make one or weld one, whatever the case is. We're going to make this up to be able to, when I push the brake, it's going to pull the master cylinder and pump fluid down to my caliper right here. And you can see my lines now too. How we just ran those. So, give us some more time. We're going to take the seat pan back off, see what we can fabricate. This could not have gone any better, guys. Check this out. So, I got 5/16 grade 8 bolts by 2 inch. They have a skirt on them. And what I did was, I put them through the master cylinder first, and on the other side, I put a washer, a nut, and a washer between the frame, and that gives us a 3/8 of an inch space off the frame. What we wanted was 1 inch to the outside of our lever here on the master cylinder, because this stock factory brake pedal with this lever that we bent straight, we bent that straight. This used to face down, but off the frame, that's 1 inch to the outside. I had already had these heim joints. This is 1/4 inch fine threaded 1/4/28 rod. These are both right hand heim joints. Anyway, 1/4 inch hardware, and just check this out. It couldn't have gone any better. So what is going to happen is the seat pan can fit back over this now. This is our stock brake pedal that was there before. You're not going to see any of this. So it's going to look totally stock. Now, next, what I got to do is these two brake lines that come through here from earlier, I got to bend a 90 down or an offset and just land them right in the back of this master cylinder in these two brake line ports, these fittings right here, these compression fittings. And this brake system will be a done deal. I'm super excited. Stick with us. We'll be back in a minute. Just like that, we have brakes, guys. I got the lines connected in here. That was just a nice sweeping bend I did with my bare hands. I bent them both at the same time and just swept them on in there. We also moved this heim joint to the top hole so you can see the travel, so it's more uniform. I haven't put any brake fluid in it yet. I snugged down the brake fittings, the compression fittings, and I did want to use flared fittings on this, but the master cylinder and the caliper just aren't set up for that. So we have to use compression fittings. It's all good. It's just a lawnmower or a go-kart brake pedal. So with that, you see the brake lines. You see Daisy over there. She just got a bath. She wants out. But all right, guys. So that's going to be the end of this video. The next video, we're going to be putting the engine back in here, and we're going to be doing the gas pedal, getting hooked up to that carburetor. So once again, I'm Jason, Tennessee Mountain Homestead, and we'll see you next time.